Sitaram everybody, and let me first acknowledge that we're starting a little late. What happened was the entire district just lost current and we didn't have internet or power. So now it came back, so we're getting started now. And I apologize for those of you that have been wondering if we're on, if we're doing what we're doing. Tonight, we continue in our celebration of Adig Mass, this extra month that we've heard about from Skand Puran, where Lord Krsna talks about the importance of doing good. One of the good we've stressed is on having snan, or that type of bath with prayer. That spiritual bath, that goodness that comes from that. We know of Dan, we know of these things. And one thing that he also mentioned was the importance of going on Tirat, going in a place to pray. And in tonight's discourse, we're going to touch on that. Tonight, we enter into the holy pages of Devi Bhagavad Mahapuran. We are in book 4, and we're starting at chapter 8, and we'll go on to a few chapters dealing with our discourse tonight as we touch on Lord Vishnu. In our discourse tonight, in this wonderful text, we'll hear about why Lord Vishnu is the person who has to come upon the earth. In Bhagavad Gita, he makes a very clear statement to Arjuna. Yada yada hi dharmasya, you know that verse. From time to time, from age to age, whenever unrighteousness goes up and righteousness comes down, I will manifest upon the earth to bring back that equilibrium, that balance. But one day, in my own interaction with my shishya, somebody asked me, of all the devatas, and I'm asking you this tonight, those of you that are watching live, those of you that will watch the rerun later on. Why? Remember, and the backdrop to this question comes from this. I am a devotee of Lord Krishna. I am a devotee of Lord Vishnu, Sri Ram. I love to hear that Ramayana and the tunes and the Sumiran and the Ramayana Visarjan. All these things. I love it. I grew up with it. I must do that Satyanarayan Katha Puja, as many people say. But do you know your God? Last night we spoke about the influence. We heard how Bhrigu Muni, who is a mind-born son of very potent, very powerful individual of Brahma, how he was given the job, the task to test the Holy Trinity, Lord Shiva, Brahma, and Lord Vishnu. And they were being influenced, I'm using that word, influenced by the gunas that is referred to in Gita, the mode, the behavior. Let's say the thing that explains sometimes the strange behaviors and actions of some people. Good behavior, how is a person able to do such good works? Have a good, magnanimous way of thinking, big way of thinking, philanthropic, he's very forgiving. Wow! What gives a person that? Sattvic, Sattvagun. And the opposite, Tamagun. What gives a person base behavior, basic tendencies, negative tendencies? And last time we saw, and for the first time we heard why Lord Shiva got the shrap to take the form of the lingam, why in all our temples, of all the many forms that Lord Shiva has, of all the different images he has, the Bhela, Sarabhya, and other forms, Bhairav, Hanuman, etc. Most of the time, or every time, in a puja, typical puja, house puja, we must have him in a lingam form. In a yagya, the lingam must be worshipped. Last night we heard of this. Brahma then, Bhrigu, gives to him a shrap that you will be the person that nobody will worship because of your conduct. But Lord Vishnu, because of his humility, when he is tested, he becomes very humble. Imagine Bhrigu Manu, based on what we read last night, devotees. He gives a kick to Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu is very calm, very happy to receive the money. We were talking about receiving the Guru at home last night. Lord Vishnu leads by example, and he gets up and he washes the feet of Bhrigu Muni. And he says, the dust from your feet purify my body. So lucky I am that your footprint is on my chest. For this reason, I don't know, in some parts of the world, I'm not sure where you are from. Tonight, as you are viewing me, please, I'm enjoying your comments, I'm enjoying talking to you. Sitaram, and welcome to the families from South Africa that are with us tonight. I enjoyed speaking with them. Questions were coming in from all over the world. Tonight, please, as you are looking on, please tell us where you're from and drop us a comment. Share this video so that many people can learn what we are about to get into. Lord Vishnu, he is given, because of that humility, the influence that he has. He is given the pedestal as the chief deity. When you look at the Satyanarayana Pitya, where when we were talking the first night how to do worship in this Adigmas, again, just to recap, get the kalsa, the mango leaf, and you put certain things inside the kalsa, water and so on, and you put a coconut on top. And that coconut represents Lord Vishnu. When you go to Yagna and you're seeing 5 coconuts on top the bedi, why is the coconut used, devotees? The coconut is used because of the energy, the potential. For the children watching tonight, when you go to school and you hear about potential energy, the seed is filled with this energy that it can grow. And kinetic energy is when the root starts to germinate now and it's growing. In our puja, we practice that. We worship that energy. The coconut is fertile and it will grow. For this reason, we worship the life that is inside of that coconut. That coconut is greater than the murtis and pityas that man makes. It is a living, breathing form of that Shakti, that energy. Lord Vishnu is asked to sit. This afternoon somebody asked me about the coconut. And the question was, why is it shaped like a peak? The first reason, it is to resemble the Diya light. Did you know this? This is why sometimes you see Diya on top of the kalsa, the energy, and then sometimes you will see the coconut. Look at your Satyanarayana Pitya, and you will see the people doing puja at the bottom, and the coconut is there. But many people don't understand why do we put the tikka for the coconut, amongst other things. Dear Lord, in a form where you are neither male nor female, I know inside this coconut it is fertile, I'm shaking it, I'm hearing water. It means it will germinate, dear God. I am worshipping you in this form. The second reason for the peak, the first reason again, it looks like the Diya light, like that spark, that divine. So you might see some people paste hardi, yellow or red sindoor on it for it to look like that. If you see that, that is why it is done. Another reason, so long as the eyes of the coconut are capped and covered, and the coconut has the ability to feed off the husk, the little bit that is left there, what we might call the churki, that covers the eyes of the coconut, God made that seed. It's so that once the eyes are covered, it will sprout. The germination comes from one of those eyes. So whilst it is in this form with the little trough on top, Baba, why we just leave that for? It means that it will grow. In this form, it is fertile. But when you take off that cap, like what we might buy in the supermarket or in the marketplace, it will not grow. For this reason, devotees tonight, please remember, when you are offering a coconut, make sure it is covered. Just that little portion where the 3 dots or the 3 eyes are, so that it still has the life in it. It is as if you are, we make a big deal if it has water in the coconut. Your elders would say, if it's dry, you're not using that. Think about Noratam is coming, the big the big coconut that we offer in the fire. The energy that we are giving there, dear Lord, tonight, I am doing puja for mother, and I would like to give her the energy in this coconut, fertile gift that would have value. What is the value? How I give karma is so I'll get. So when you are burning the coconut, the reason we give it in that form, it will grow devotees. Is it only there? No. When people have Rahu Grah Shanti part to do, when people have that type of grah, they go by river where water is moving, and they hold big coconut to their chest, they say prayers, different beach mantras at Jagawid, and then they launch that into the water element. Another example where it is given, when you have wedding, long ago, devotees tell me, remind me if you had it in your wedding. Leave me a comment. Did you do this? Did you get a big coconut in your wedding and they planted the coconut on the earth so that it will sprout and grow? Dear God, may Mother in the form of Dharti Mata, may you accept this gift and bless this marriage so long as this coconut is growing. Bless us to go from strength to strength. Lord Vishnu is the form we worship in those coconut when you put it on top of the kalsa. Look at your Satya Narayan Piti and it will jog your memory what you are accustomed doing. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Last night was an eye-opener for many of you. Based on the feedback I got, based on the questions, based on the comments from all over the world. For the family that is in Switzerland tonight looking on with us, Sitaram and Namaste. I hope you understand now why we use the coconut in our puja. Devotees, as we get set to enter into another groundbreaking, wonderful discourse, something that I hope you will retain and remember. If you love Lord Vishnu, if you love your Krishna and Krishna puja, I need your attention tonight for this discourse. I need you to get ready to receive what is going to disseminate from this Devi Bhagavat. Night after night we are doing this type of Shravanam where we are listening. Is your heart? You're going to hear about it in a little bit. Prahalad is going to be one of our main characters. Do you remember Prahalad? Do you remember that person, the little boy who is Narayan and Narayan and Narayan, and Lord Vishnu comes in that nursing form? Prahalad is involved in our discourse tonight. As one age is coming, one age is going, one age is coming. And what is going to happen here will predict what is going to come. And tonight you're going to hear why. Why Lord Vishnu says, I will come again and again. The history behind that verse that Lord Krishna talks about in Gita. Yada yada hidharmasya. You see that verse that many pundits call on? Tonight I'm saying it again for those of you that came on late. Of all the devatas, of all the forms, Shri Adi Shakti Durga Mata does not say she will come. Saraswati Mata does not say she will come. Hanumanji does not say he will come. But Lord Vishnu says, I will come age after age, time after time when I am needed to save this sansar, to save this world and all that exists within. Everybody please clasp your hands. After we've recapped, after we have remembered what we talked about last night, so much information, tonight get ready again. As we go forward into Devi Bhagavat now, let's say small prayer before we go forward. Om Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kapeta Jambu Palachara Bhakshitam Kavinashkarkam Namami Viganeshwara Padapankajam Sarvamangalamangalye
Shive Sarvate Sadike
Sharanye Trayambike Gauri O Narayani Namostute Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Paramanandam Paramanandam Madhavam Vrindavan Bihari Lala Ki Jai. One of my favorite mantras is that Mukam Karoti. And the reason for that is it says in that prayer, I'm sure many of you have heard it, I'm sure even more know it. Just to remind you of what you already know. That prayer says, dear God, by your power, the Gunga, the person who can't speak, he will become eloquent. Your power is so great that a speck of dust can grow into a mountain. Your power is so great. Tonight, I want to let you know the kind of calls that I got today. Today I got calls of people asking questions, people reaching out for guidance. And then I got calls of families that are having sick, trouble. And again, looking for help and guidance, prayers. Tonight, let us help ourselves. I want to remind you, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about mindset. Your mindset, you're going to hear about that shortly. If things are going good in your family, if things are going good in your life, if things are stable in your job, if your salary is assured, if your family is safe, my dear friend, do you value what you have? If your parents are alive tonight, do you value what you have? Do you know how many people squander these gifts that God have given to us? People take them for granted. Someone told me today, well, you know what, Babs? My brother says because he's not inheriting the home, he's not going to do the fasting and pindadan for daddy. The mindset of some people, that even when you can do something to help yourself, to help other people, knowing that you will get the blessing, sometimes, in this example, it's the furthest thing from some people, mind. Many people do prayers. Do everybody get what they're praying for? Have you ever been in a situation where I'm praying, but it is as if I'm knocking my head against a wall. I'm bouncing a wall. I hit a wall. I can't move forward. I've gone for that visa 5 times. I'm a refugee from a war-torn country. I'm trying to get out and they will not let me pass over the border. I'm in poverty and I cannot get food for my children. Today I heard the story of a mother who is so poor, let's call it roti. In that country they don't call it roti. Imagine roti that is so stale it is overrun by ants. And I have to give them that, and in our local palan, we might say tomatoes choka. Mashed tomatoes, no salt, no seasoning. I have to feed my children that hard roti and feed them. When will help come? When will things change? These are never easy answers to give, never easy questions to deal with. Why is my relative sick? The obvious answer is karma, as harsh as that sounds. So I just want to remind you that there are so many things that you could lose. Forget everybody else. This is about you tonight. You have so much to lose, but you sometimes don't see the value of what you have, because we are always aspiring for more or something else. Tonight, please listen to the words of a guru that is guiding now Prahalad as we enter, as I said, book 4. If you came in late, book 4, Devi Bhagavad Purana. I'm starting in chapter 8. Janmejaya, the great-grandson of Arjun, the Pandavas, the great-grandson, is listening to Sutji Maharaj. And he is asking about all types of questions. His father, Maharaj Parikshit, the person who the Bhagavad is made for, he has died. And Janmejaya had made mistakes in his own life. And he wants to atone for those mistakes. So he's asking about it. And Sutji is at a point where he says, your father who died by snake bite whilst you were young, he is a person that is going through problems. Today, although he had been given the opportunity to listen to Bhagavad at the time of death, his soul was robbed of the opportunity to do what is called Tirath, pilgrimage. But oh, Putra, because you as a child, Putra, Putri, what does those words mean? Referring to son and daughter. You will save the parents by your good choices. When a child lives the right life, when a child, according to that name, Putra and Putri, when a child does the right thing, believe it or not, as a Hindu, we believe, just by living right, they will uplift their parents when their soul is no longer on the living realm, but is traveling, is in heaven, is being punished in hell. It is said that a good child will lift the worst parent, the person who had made the biggest mistake. Case in point tonight, Hiranyakashipu is the person who was destroyed by Narsingh, Prahalad's father. Janmejaya is about to hear. He says, listen to the discourse of this Prahalad and what Prahalad did and how he was able to help his father. His father was a sinful person, but because of the prayers of the son, he has been destroyed. He died at the hands of Lord Vishnu, and for that reason he goes and he gains great amount of blessing. And that Prahalad continues to do prayer to Lord Vishnu, and for this reason the father is the beneficiary. Today, O Janmejaya, and to you listening tonight, Adhik Maas is also a time to pray for Pitras. It is coming only every 3 years. So people wait for this time to read discourses like this. They wait for this time to do Bhagavad and Bhagavad Gita, so that their family, those that have died because of suicide, those that have died because of accidental death, those, I had a godson a few years ago. I lost him. Brandon, I remember you, son, tonight. I remember your wife, your widow, Suzanne, tonight. Those people that die in the line of duty or accidentally, and their soul is not rested because it was cut short. Adhik Maas is a time when these type of discourse are read. And as you will hear, journey to places where this is being read. And I'll explain why that is relevant even to us tonight. Even those types of souls are able to get benefit. Tonight he says, please listen, O Janmejaya. Prahalad, being now a full king after the death of Hiranyakashipu, He is installed as king over all the daityas, over all the demonic individuals. And he is ruling in that place called Patal, that Patal realm Lok. And it so happens, at one point, Kavyavan Muni, he is going, that son, Kavyavan is a son of Bhrigu, one of the sons of that Bhrigu Muni. He goes in the Narmada river to have bath, snan, during auspicious time, prayerful time. And whilst he's saying his prayer and bathing with mantras, as we discussed the first night, did you in your bath today chant Gayatri whilst that water was flowing on you? Remember, we discussed that. The families from the United Kingdom, they want to know how can you increase your prosperity. We must include these type of activities in our day-to-day life. Note, I didn't talk about Pandit. No, I did not talk about fasting. This is just when you are bathing and you are saying your prayer. It takes 2 seconds to say it. And this alone purifies you from the negativity that exists. This is one way. He is doing the same thing. And in that moment, a great serpent wraps around his leg and starts to pull him. Let's hear what happens in this first sloka. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. 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 Char Charanagaye Yabi Pujito Muni Satatam Yena Vishwamantra Naganatam Danava Mahapuriyate. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Everybody at home. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Vasudev Asutam Devam Kamsa Charuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Jai Jai Radha
Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Kavyavan Muni puts his mind in this moment. Look at the power of the mind. First thing, he puts his mind to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu, come to me now. Lord Vishnu, help me now. I don't know what's pulling me. I don't know what's attacking me, but you have to save me now. And as he's japing, as he's calling on Lord Vishnu, the serpent felt the heat of his body, even in the water. This Naga, feeling the heat of his body, knows that he's calling on Lord Vishnu, and he became very afraid. By the grace of Mahavishnu, the serpent lost all the poison, all the venom that its body had, and was no longer considered to be venomous or deadly. This is the origin of these types of snakes. Locally we call them horsewhip and other things that have no venom in them. This is where those things came from. Kavyavan Muni is released by the snake, and he arrives into the place of Patal, and he reaches to the place or the city where Prahalad is king. And rather than return, he knows where he is. He wants to go and look for the devotee of Lord Vishnu. And when he reaches in that place, he's questioned. Are you an emissary? Are you a spy of Indra? You know, we are the Daityas, we are the demons, and he is the Devatas. We fight often. Are you here to spy on us? Chavyan Muni says, O Prahlad, you are a bhakt of Lord Vishnu, and I am a devotee of Lord Vishnu as well. Oh friend, we are brothers in faith. Why do you look at me like that? I have come here to see you, to be in the company of somebody that prays to that great Hari Vishnu. And this is what you will think of me. Prahlad smiles and he says, oh friend, I am so happy to know that this is your reasoning. I am so happy to meet somebody that knows the value and the power and potency of my Lord. And they embrace. And he says, may you please, O Muni, may you please tell me firstly, as we are spending time together, when great people come together, what do? I'm asking you this tonight. When you congregate with your friends and family, what is the topic? Who is the topic? When you sit with somebody, what is the topic? What do you bring to the table? Are we talking about science? Last time we talked a little bit about marketing strategies. People did not realize that Coca-Cola is red and Pepsi is blue. And between Pepsi and Coca-Cola, which one do you gravitate to? They didn't realize that Pizza Hut and all these fast food chains are red, and the power of this red color. Another hint is, have you ever realized that the President of America wears a lot of red ties? And in different moments, you will see him in blue tie. Think of President Obama, always in a blue tie, giving a sense of security, calmness, gentleness. But you'll never see them in yellow or brown or purple. Those things send messages, subliminal messages that do something with your mind, that cause you to react and to act. When people sit with you, what is the content of your conversation? Is it always rude? Is it always baseless and pointless? Or do people benefit, do your children benefit from conversations with you? Do we sit and learn? In this example, Prahlad is using this opportunity to be with this Muni. He says, could you tell me what is the best tirat, the best place to go, so that I can get opportune blessings as the month of Adig Maas is coming? Oh my brother, there are many places that one could go. The bank of the Ganga, the hermitage or the ashram of the Guru, the home of the parent, where the Shaligram is being worshipped. All these things are great. The place called Bihar has so many religious and potent spots. Last time we talked about the one location for the Brahma temples, Pushkar and Pushkar Lake. He talks about that here. He says these things are very great. But do you know what is greater? He says it is an opportunity to go to Tirat, but the mind of the individual is greater. Because as that person that has a dirty mind, corrupted mind, impure mind, defiled mind, goes to the bank of the Ganga, all the benefit that that place could have, that place has no benefit because of the impurity of the person's mind. Pratama chetan man shuddha jatan papi vinajetam taratirtani sarvani pavani bhavani ve nama Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatma
Namo Namah
Narayanaya
Krishnaya
Paramatma Namo Namah. Every holy place will give holiness to that person who goes there. But their mind has to be pure firstly. They must be deprived of sinful actions and thoughts. Ganda tirata he sarvatra vasanti naghari ye chata brajvetam karagrama sarva keta ye taha Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. He says, "Oh Rajan, at the bank of the Ganga, there are many cities, towns, shores along that bank. So long she runs. Yamuna, Jamuna, Narmada, all these places. They are different trees, they are different tirat, they are different places, worshipable places, places that just by going there, drinking the water, touching the dust to your forehead, brings about different types of blessings." And he makes mention to where the parents are sitting, where the shaligram is, where the peepar tree is. All these things are there. He says, but all these great individuals, all these great places, you could go and drink the entire Ganga, but if that soul, if that mind is not purified, if that heart is not ready to accept goodness and good things, when that soul leaves, no matter how much tirat they went on, that soul is not going to find mukti or liberation. Many people live and they don't care, they're going to live about sinful life. But you know what? Baba, you come and do the puja and you put up all the flag. Let me use an example. I'm using myself, Keshava, have 5 bad habits. And I'm going to do puja coming next week. And I'm going to go to the baby with my 5 bad habit. And I'm going to dress the best, and I'm going to have the best parsad, and I'm going to put up the best flag, and the best pandit is going to come. We're going to have the best singing tonight. I have my niece with me. She's going to come to play the sitar. And everything will perfect. Oh my, the mala, can you see it, devotees? Best puja. But I have my bad habits. I sit down and I do my prayers and I ask Hanuman Baba, for example, please give me the Shakti and the power, the Vardhan, to be strong like a mountain. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langaya tegarim. By your grace, Vishnu, a speck of dust can become great like a mountain. So I'm doing my puja and give me the power to keep doing my 5 bad habits. The man who is cheating in his marriage, the man who is robbing his boss, the people that are lying to one another, do they leave their bad habits at the baby? Do they change? Are you ready for change in your life? Are you looking at your life and saying, you know what? I could improve here. Shavyan Muni says to Prahalad, he says, until a person is ready to accept that goodness, then that purity, beginning with the mind, beginning with the type of thinking, then Tirat is going to bring blessing to such a person. Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, when the person with the right resolve, consider that person a saint, saved, rescued from a life of sin. There are many examples of that. But it begins with the resolution that I want to be better, I want to do better. Don't damn yourself. The mistake we make, he says, to judge is the divine. That's his job. When we see some person trying to come back to God, to improve themselves, don't look at them and say, you know what, that person is trying to play his pundit. He is trying to play his Swami now. And he used to drink all the rum, and he used to do all the this and all. Nobody's perfect. But remember the story of Valmiki, who started off as a bandit, and he ends up being immortalized. He ends up meeting Hanumanji. He ends up having so many wonderful moments that till today we refer to his Ramayana. Pavana Putra Hanumaniki Jai. O Rajan, the mind is the principal factor in any religious act, puja, in any tirat. He who wants purity in his life, let him first make his own mind pure. Let him fight the monkey in the mind and bring change in his life. Make a resolution that I have bad habits, but you know what? Today, one is going to go. I'm going to change. I'm going to better myself this year. New Year's resolution, Shivratri resolution, Yagna resolution. He says, if the residents in a place, you go to a place of great divinity, Yagyashala, puja, where the various coconuts are installed, where puja is being done, and they commit sin, and they try to hurt one another, that sin is going to be very difficult to get off their back. And instead of a person now getting good and goodness, no, O Rajan, that people who go to Tirat under false pretense, where they try to fool others, that they have made some resolution for betterment, for purity of conduct, etc. Change in their life, beginning with the change in their mindset, that they will incur sin that will become very detrimental in their life. So, to answer your question, always avoid the company of negative people, low people, and low meaning not financial, but in the content of these people. Look at the quality of their conversation. It is better to be in the company of people that have goodwill towards man, compassion, those people that are religious or those that do seva to the benefit of people or to the God. When in this type of company, a person will have to develop goodness and good traits. And what you have asked about pilgrimage, now you are ready. When a person has this type of company, their mindset is going to be aligned like that. The old saying, show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are, applies here. He says, O Rajan, the holiest place is that place called Naimisharanya. The next place, Chakra Tirat, where Lord Vishnu gets the Sudarshan Chakra. The next place, Pushkar Tirat. These places are very holy. And what happens? Immediately, Prahlad departs to go Naimisharanya. And in that place of Naimisharanya, he spends some time. He sits there. And in that place, let's hear what happens. As that Prahlad, after doing prayer, after doing great amount of tapasya, he gains blessings. But it is now time for karma. Janvijay, it is time for something to happen in his life. Let's hear what happens in this verse. Pahi pahi, pahi pahi, Gajanana, Parvati Nanda, Gajanana, Lambodar he, Gajanana, Lambodar he, Gajanana, Lambodar Gaj, Vicharana, Lambodar Gaj, Vicharana, Pahi pahi, pahi Gajanana
Parvati Nanda Gajanana
Tatavidhi Tapasvi Tebhyo Yecha Kena Hetuna Mohatam Sukha Bhoga Swarga Ye Paripraptya Kritaye Mrityudhanavaye Sarvapal Pahi 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 Gajanana Parvati Nanda Gajanana. After doing great amount of dhyana, tapasya, he had gained a great amount of punya, benefit. But because of the play of Lord Vishnu, the play of Maya, there had arisen a little conflict between the Daityas and the Devatas after he had finished, Prahlad had finished his dhyana. Guruji said, because of this conflict, Lord Vishnu receives a curse from Bhrigu Muni. That same Bhrigu who we talked about last night. Again, his name is being called here. Janvijay says, O Guruji, Sukdev Goswami, by what means does this Bhrigu and Lord Vishnu have conflict? How is it that he is able to get sharp? What happened? May you please tell me. And now, as Vyas Muni is about, he says, oh Rajan, listen, I'm going to tell you that in years gone by, Hiranyakashipu had a fight with the Devatas and it continued. Long after he died, Prahlad was installed as the king. And Prahlad, the king of the Daityas, continued to fight Indra and all others. And when, after 100 years, Prahlad had lost, Prahlad was defeated, and he gives up the throne, he installs his son Bali to become the king, and Prahlad goes to the Madan hill to do dhyan, tapasya, prayer. Bali becomes very prosperous. And even then there began a quarrel between the Devatas and the Daityas. But this time Bali goes to the Guru. Shukracharya or Shukra is the Hindi name for the planet Venus. And Bali says to him, O Guruji, we who depend on you for knowledge and guidance, we are going through all forms of hardship. We are going through all forms of despair, harm, death, dismemberment, losses. We might win the battle, we might be alive, but when we come home, we are never the same again. Without limbs, without the facet of sight. Sometimes the losses that we incur are so very bad. How come we are always the loser? How come we are always in pain? Why we are always to be downtrodden like this? May you please, oh dear Guru, guide us, help us. Why are you not lending your support? If only you could save us through your knowledge, we would be safe. Guruji, listening to their humble words. When you go to speak to your Guru, please remember, I am telling you, I'm giving you a little secret. always be humble. Be humble. Just as we respect the doctor's knowledge, just as we respect the mechanic's knowledge, when it's Christmas time, one thing I'm seeing my niece, one thing I taught them, I don't know what you do in your family, but Christmas time is something we keep up. It's a time for gift giving and sharing, and I encourage that in them. And I would always remember the man who is picking up my garbage, the garbage truck. I once saw, when I was working up north, I once saw somebody come out, and I was so impressed by it, I wanted to do it. They came out around this time, and they gave the person who, not even the driver alone, but the person at the back of the truck, they gave them something to drink, like a sorrel shandy or a sorrel drink. So I thought to myself, this is a wonderful thing to do. I want to do it. And from time to time we do it. But Christmas time I make sure that they are with me side the road to encourage that type of humility, respect for people, and to give charity. So my niece, Mamu, December is coming. Remember, we have to buy stuff because we have to give the guys. What do you do? Do you encourage it? We talk about charity, but charity begins at home. And charity, you have to be humble. Charity cannot be done and you're boasting about it. You know how we like to take out our phones and do videos and post. Look, Baba is feeding the poor. Look. And everybody in the world and if social media has to see you're helping somebody who needs help. No, friends. Then that's not humble. Go forward sometimes how we speak to people and we talk to them in a tone, in a way. It's better you didn't give the help, if you call it help. Humbly they speak, and with that calmness, with that love, the Guru is compelled. Vyasmuni says the Guru is the person who with love has accepted these children through the Guru Diksha ceremony and wants to always be there on the side of the family. If I am your Guru, I can speak for myself. Year to year, when you are in distress, I'm there with you. When you are happy, I'm there with you. That is how it's supposed to be. Do you have that kind of relationship where you could pick up the phone and say, Babs, 3 o'clock in the morning, we just had the baby. Could you check to see if I can go and see her? But as I always tell all my Shasha, I'm human too. And if we are strangers, if I don't know you, if I don't have your number, do you think I'll answer the phone? But if I know this is Barry calling me, tonight, sit down Barry from St. Helena. If Barry is calling me, I have to answer. It's Barry. If his wife is calling me, if his children is calling me, how could I not answer? And with that love and that humility, you grow that relationship. Please do that in your life. Please have that type of relationship with your Guru, so that relationship can grow and foster. He says, I will protect you with the fire of my body and the vigor of my life, with the sound of my mantras. I will give you my all. Fear not, so long I am here. Stand in my shadow and be fearless. He says those devatas are going to come back against us, and they are going to come with all forms of attack, weapons. We need to better prepare ourselves. When they come and they damage us, we have to take the licks and we have to absorb that loss. He says this needs to change. You know what? I am going to do mantra jap. I am going to do dhyanam to Mare Baba. I am going to go to him to ask him for help. Shukra Muni left. He says, I am going on a journey. And this day itself, I'm going to start mantra to get special beach prayer from Lord Shiva. So that when we go to battle, we are not going to lose. And when I return with the blessings of Mahadev, with that power of that mantra, we will be able to protect ourselves better in battle. But oh, Guru, in your absence, what will we do? He says in this crisis, it is advisable to leave the battlefield. Don't go and engage the enemy. You do not have the numbers, you do not have the weapons, you do not have the vigor, you will lose. He says when in politics, sometimes you have to know when to retract. And in the science of politics, whether it is to sow dissension, to cause partition, to use bribery, he says use these subtle methods to prepare yourself and to rally your troops so that the day when battle is here, you will be ready. But oh children, do not engage the enemy until I return. Then, when they come to fight, we will be ready. For now, practice humility, practice meekness, practice allegiance, practice peacefulness until I return. In this way, Guruji went one way to pray, and Prahalad and his cohorts sent message to Indra and all the other devatas that we have become exhausted. We have become tired of this war. Please accept our truce. Please see us at rest. And Indra accepts this. Let's hear what happens in this next slok as we hear from Vyas where Shukradevta has reached. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namah. Taschatva Vachana Tasya Sarvagyan Shukra Shiva Ye Chinta Yamsta Manas Kim Karta Mata Paramaye Bhyo Nama Sureshu Dhruvaye Buddhi Saumantra Buddhiye Sampradhan Prapya Khavya Guru Stotra Daityana Divya Vijaye Cha Namo Nama Rakshani Amaya Deva Iti Mascha Yantaye Shankara Pauscha Kara Bhrataye Yatam Tum Vachano Maheshwara. Oh Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya
Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya
Namo Namah. Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. Shukradevta, after journeying, arrives at Kailash and he gets company, he gets an audience with Shankar Bhagavan. And he explains to Prabhu that he wants to have that mantra vidhi. That when he calls on that prayer, Mahadev Baba will protect him and anybody with him from all damage, all weapons, everything must become null and void. And Lord Shiva, Vyas Muni says, Lord Shiva taught very quickly what to do because he knows what this will bring. This is going to be revenge against the Devatas. To give the Devatas time, he says, oh Shukra, to give you what you want, you are going to have to prove yourself worthy. For 1,000 years you're going to practice tapasya in order to get it where your head is on the ground. Have you ever seen that pranayama posture, that yogic posture, where the person has their hands like this on the ground and their head between their arms, legs straight up into the air. He says with your head up, your head downward and your feet up, you must remain there for 1,000 years. And in that posture, inhale the smoke of the burning hawan, where the husk of coconut is being slowly burnt, and that dense smoke, you must breathe it in slowly and practice in and out, that type of vow, peacefully, without agitation, and your mind must remain fixated. Then you will get what you want. Shukra, accepting the challenge, giving up all forms of arrogance and anger, he begins this vrat. When the Devatas heard of the truth, they accept it. And then Narad Muni comes one day to give them the news that, do you know how great Shukracharya, Shukra Devata is? His head has been down and his feet are up, and he has been there consistently, his mind under control, doing Gyan, meditation to Lord Shiva. Oh Indra, if you could only do a piece of what he is doing, you would have the blessing that he is going to have. I am assured he is going to get the mantra that he is praying for. With this secret now out, Indra, Agni and all others, they have a quick meeting, that it seems as if the mantras and the prayer, the dhyan that he's praying for is to gain potency in the battlefield. They are plotting against us. The Devatas make ready. Agni tells Indra, let us not wait for that deceitful Muni to come and attack us. Let us take front whilst they are vulnerable and weak. Let us attack them. Listening to that advice, Indra, with all armor and weapons, gathers the army and forces, and they go against the Daityas, the demons. When Prahalad sees this cohort of force coming, they get frightened. They are not ready to fight. They are not prepared. They were still under the understanding that they were living in peace. So they run where? They go to Gurumai. They go where Shukracharya, Mother Kavya Devi is in the ashram of Brigudev. They go to the parents of Shukra. Shukra is not married at this time. Mother, please help us. We are the children of your son, godchildren, and we need help. May you please help us. She says, so long as I am standing here, they cannot do you anything. I will protect you. And they came into the hermitage. All the deities came there, and all the devatas are ready to attack the ashram. They send message, O mother of the deities, please allow all of them to leave the ashram so that we can fight them. O mother of Shukra, release them. But the mother of Shukra Devata, the wife of Brigu, you know they say behind a great man is a great woman. And in our Dharma, read chapter 1. You are in Kali Yuga, when the mother of a home is complacent. In our Dharma, throughout text, whichever text you read, women are always placed on top. Tuabe Wamata, you are my mother, first God. Why? When that lady, just to remind you, chapter 1 Gita, when that lady gives you training, wipe your mouth when eating, close your mouth when you're chewing your food, toilet manners, table manners, normal manners, good evening, good night auntie, how are you? Compassion, feed your dog, bathe your dog, discipline, responsibility, get up early for school. and the mother instills these values in the children, then your life starts off at a very high platform because your mother has taught you well. But when a person does not have that karma, to have that caliber of the womb where you come from, the value of that womb, and you come from a substandard womb. Plenty people can be a parent, but not everybody can be a mother. You come from a lady when you have less good karma, how it go, it go. Immunization, who cares about that? You don't want to take your vitamin, don't take your vitamin. You want to eat fast food every day, eat it. How your health will be, it does not matter. You want to sit in front of the computer every day, this close, do it, no problem. You don't want to log on for your class today, no problem. You don't want to learn another language, no problem. You don't want to learn a musical instrument, no problem. Mommy is my friend. My mommy is the best in the world because she lets me do what I want. I can talk to her as I want. Mommy, shut your mouth. Do you know tonight, I am saying it, how many parents are living in a home where your mother says, Hanumanji, the enemy is at my door. Take your mukdar and destroy them, bite them, break them, push them back. Protect me. But suppose the enemy is me. Suppose I am my own enemy. Suppose I am lazy. Suppose my mind is lazy, just lazy. And that is keeping me from reaching where I could reach. Tonight, having discussed all these points, I wanted, my objective was to give you a discourse explaining some of the things about our Lord, whether you call him Krishna, Ram, Vishnu, Satyanarayan, some history about him, some insight into him. I hope you enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it? Did you learn something? I really apologize I started late. Tomorrow, trust me, Tea and Tech willing. For all my Tea and Tech sailors out there, please help me. Help me. And Flow Internet, oh, Prabhu, help them. If anybody is watching and you work at Flow, please contact Pandit Keshava. I need help with your service. I'm trying to do God's work, but it is a test. Before I conclude, and I know time is running away, forgive me for going over. Bear with me, please. I'm trying to hold your attention. Tomorrow night, I want to do the discourse. Here's the secret about Buddha. One of the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, Ram, Krishna, Buddha, Kalki. Kalki is to come. The last avatar is not Krishna, is Buddha. But I don't see Buddha Murti in the temple, Pandit. I've never done Buddha Puja. Tomorrow night we'll listen to Vishnu Puran about that folk. And it explains why, for the person that asked me from South Africa this afternoon, why we don't criticize. Why is it a facet of Hinduism is we don't attack other people's religion. And for the children that are looking on, I need you to understand that you cannot call yourself a Hindu and you're not living by the Hindu standard. Could I be eating beef and call myself Hindu? No. Could I be a violent person practicing war and all these different things to kill people? Could I be a bandit and call myself Hindu? No, a Hindu is a person that practices ahimsa. There are rules, characteristics that make up a Hindu. Tomorrow night, you're going to hear more about that. Who you are. We're teaching Vishnu worship, paradigmas. But you are going to get some wonderful gems, wonderful discourses. My intention is to give you knowledge in a way that you must be in awe. Your system must be filled when you're finished. I want you to go back and watch this video on YouTube. And every time you watch it, you tell me the truth. You're going to pick up because you can absorb only so much. But every time you watch it back, oh, I didn't remember he said that. I didn't hear that part. I didn't know that part. But every time you listen to it, trust me, your soul is going up, up, up. And if that is my objective, then I'm achieving my objective. Tonight I had fun giving you this course. I love this particular discourse. Whenever I have to read, everybody says I read David Bhagavad with a little more vibrance, a little more love. We've ended on David Bhagavad chapter 12 in book 4 of this Kand. Well, the fourth Kand. We reach from chapter 8 to chapter 12. For those that want to reference where I'm reading. Tonight, as I conclude, please remember your mindset. Your mindset makes a difference. Many people who have dosh, Mangal dosh. Mangal dosh is when you have delays in getting married. It's something in your birth chart where the planet Mangal is, Mars. The person has an attitude problem, but they have problems with their father. Sometimes they get married, but they might divorce or separate. Or the third type of problem, they are living good and prematurely become a widow or a widower. If you would like to know if you're a Mangalic person, you can always message me and I can guide you. These people have problems to keep a job, they have problems domestically in their home. There's always gabber, fighting. And if you do the relevant prayer with a good mind, good karma, one of the things, for example, you would see a Mangalic person doing, they feed ants, they feed birds to gain good karma, they chant Gayatri Jap to burn bad karma, and then you start to see when you do Kumbha Viva, where they're getting married to Lord Vishnu in a big kalsa, and then you break the kalsa after the ritual. They say, well, in my karma I was supposed to fail at marriage, I am failing at this one. Let my next one, or the real one, when you're getting married or whatever it is, in your marriage, let it save. I can tell you, by doing those type of deeds with a good mind, having patience in prayer works. Shri Vishnu Bhagwan Ki Jai. Before I conclude, tonight I was asked to make an announcement that at my home, during the Navratri, I am a believer that during these times we need to do more prayer because people are in trouble. Many pundits are telling people they are not going out to do puja, they are not doing prayers, they are not doing puja on the whole. Many people, locally and abroad, because of the virus, and I understand that. I understand even in New York this evening we had a death of a 6-year-old girl, and my prayers go out to that family. You'll say a mantra for them at the end. Trinidad, I believe we had 2 deaths today. And it is as if we are becoming numb to the occurrence, I have to say, until it hits you and your family. And then, as I said at the beginning, when these types of hardships and hard times and bad times come, the person will ask, why is God allowing this to happen? My answer is to you, while things are good, don't be complacent. When things get bad, if they are bad, there's prayers, there are things we can try, there are things that we can do. I am willing, Pandit Keshava is willing. If only you are willing, make contact with me and we'll do that. On my Facebook, you'll see the link for the WhatsApp group. Everybody click that link, join the group so that we can continue our conversations. During the Navratri that is coming up, starting on the 17th of October, I have scheduled time after time during those days at my home, because we are using the thermometer, we are using gloves, I am not even using Tarya and Luta. When one family comes and we are doing prayer at my home, small group, 2 people, whatever it is, I have nobody here, there's no PA system, there's no crowd. We are doing worship using Styrotex containers so that after you use it, we dump it. We change gloves so that there's no contamination. We are using magic wort, the chemical, the sanitizer that is used in the hospitals and the medical centers to sanitize and destroy coronavirus, HIV virus and other things, so I can control the environment where we are at, from the toilet, come back to where by the baby, etc. I'll be doing the Bandeshwari Puja. I believe I have about 10 or 12 spots available. So I am saying it now. I was asked to make the announcement because last time I did this prayer. This is for those of you that want the help with health, finance, business, etc. This is the prayers. When you do this prayers, this is where instead of lapsi and sohari, you use, for example, one of the strange ingredients is pumpkin leaf, sweet rice with certain ingredients in it, and another pumpkin leaf. And this is offered to mother. Some people will know about it, some people will not know about it. I am introducing it to everybody, to be fair to everybody. I am doing it this year because we need the help, and I am making myself available. I am following all protocols. I am saying it flat to everybody. If your temperature is high, when you come in the compound, when you wash your hand, I am going to send you back to your car. I am not putting my life or anybody's life in any risk. I am not being irresponsible. But during these times, you tell me, send me a comment. What do you think? Do you think we should pray less, close down everything, shut down everything, prayers during these times? Tell the person who just lost their 6-year-old child, the 28-year-old doctor from Florida that died, that you know what? Don't pray. Don't do it. Then use that excuse. Because there are many people, and I'm not talking to everybody, obviously, because there are some people, well, Babs, you know, COVID, we have to stay in, we can't do no prayers, we can't do anything. Okay, no problem. For those of you that would like to take part in Bandeshwari Puja, this is a Durga prayer, simple Durga prayer. The only difference is really the parsad. The prayers are different. But Sindur, Saffron, Chandan, perfume, all those things, normal stuff. But it is a prayer that is specific for what we are going through. Financial problem, help. Shitala Devi Puja is a puja that is done for health purpose, infections, etc. We will be doing this. If you would like to take part, for those of you in the Trinidad circle, those of you that can reach me, you are welcome to message me. First come, first serve. First come, first serve. Bear with me, I am doing my part, but we could only do so much. From tonight till tomorrow, message me, call me, and get involved as I am trying to help you and your family by doing good things, influencing you. Listening to tonight's discourse, change your mindset. Change your mindset. Turn to God. It's not about me, the pundit. It is about your relationship with God. Look at yourself. Don't have the bad habits that I have. Don't be lazy. Know what God does for you in your life. See the effort that Lord Vishnu gives in your life and make that step. We need to learn this lesson. The world has gone crazy. It's gone haywire. And God is stepping in. In Hinduism, we don't have the facility of the devil. We have God as a parent. That same parent, you're a parent. You beat your child when they do bad and you reward your child when they do good. And that God does the same. Karma says when you do bad, you get bad. When you do good, you get good. When we are getting complacent and lazy and we are falling to the side and we don't want to do and we don't want to give thanks, everything going good, what I have to pray for, I have enough money. Everything happy, Baba. God is going to show you what is unhappiness. And when those days come, you're going to, oh my God, if I had only known, I would not be in this position. There's an uncle from Williamsville who recently lost his foot. I did not forget you. Tomorrow morning, if you're watching, please give me a call. And my support is there with your family. Whatever has to be done will be done for everybody. You know, the constant complaint on behalf of all my pundit brothers, I'm saying it. We try. We give. Do you give your effort? Teachers are in class. Teachers are prepared with their knowledge. But it is up to the student to put themselves in place just to receive what the teacher is giving. Let's do our part. I am responsible for you. And I am trying in my own remit to do what I can. Please use the opportunity. Use me. Use the opportunity of Narata to do your prayer as the winter season is coming for those of you that are abroad. And I'm making time. For those of you that are abroad and you want to do an online puja for Navratri, we can do that. Through WhatsApp and Facebook Live, we can sit down and I will tell you beforehand what to prepare, how to prepare. And through this medium, it will be as if I'm in your home in France, Italy, Spain. I do it on a regular basis. Let us get going. Let us not be complacent. I am offering myself. It's only for you to pick up the offer. Tonight I've gone over my time. I apologize humbly. For those of you watching it on the replay, I went over a little bit. I'm sorry. For those of you watching it on YouTube, please remember subscribe to the station so that we have more and more people. Please click that notification button on Facebook so that you will know when I'm going live, as I'm planning more and more discourse coming up to teach you. I hope you learned something tonight. I hope you benefited from this discourse. And I hope you are walking closer and closer to that Lord Vishnu. That Vaishnavite love is growing inside of you. And I hope you understand when you watch that video and you see his dark color. When you listen to all the pundits giving your katha and you're asking your questions, I hope to support you with that knowledge. Shri Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai. Our little Yagna is coming to an end. Tomorrow night, discourse on, as I said, one form of the 10 avatar. Something that we don't hear too often. Trust me, you're going to learn a lot tomorrow night. And our last night, Sunday night, I'll teach you about the fig tree, and we'll do Gita, Mahatyam, talking about everything. And in it, who knows, we might touch on all different type of teachings, depending on the questions that I get. Please remember, send me your questions. When I'm finished here, I'm going to spend the time going through the comments. Thank you again for your listenership. Thank you again for your time. Your time is very valuable. Thank you for your support, for your kind words, for all of you that called and messaged today. Thank you. It means a lot. It's very encouraging that even where we are changing our method of discourse, it is still valuable. May God bless you. May God bless your family wherever you are. Let's pray together as we do final pratna. Tvameva mata chapita tvameva tvameva bandhuscha sagha tvameva tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva tvameva sarvam mama deva deva tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Prem Sabalo Mahapati Mahadeva ki Jai, Paunaputra Hanuman ki Jai, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai, Shri Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai. Sit down everybody, have a good night. Remember, share the video. Click that notification button so that we can be together. So that you, every time I go live, you will know. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to this station so that you can learn more and more. And until tomorrow night I'll be on time, I promise. Forgive me again. Sitaram.